AI uses a Shroud of Turin to create an image of Jesus. What happens when artificial intelligence goes too far and we start to create idols out of things that were meant to be a mystery? The Shroud of Turin is 14 feet long and depicts an image of a crucified man. It first surfaced in historical records in the 1350s in France. A French knight offered it to a dean of a local church, claiming it to be the burial cloth of Jesus. But the startling thing is that the wounds of the crucified man resemble the wounds of Christ. Scientists even date the shroud from 300 BC to 400 AD. Even the pollen on the shroud came from Israel. One famed apologist named Gary Habermas, who I actually have a book of, says that this could be the burial cloth of Jesus. So I first found out about what the Shroud of Turin was through Gary Habermas's book. Do I have it over here? Yeah, here it goes. So the historical Jesus, Gary Habermas's book, Gary R. Habermas. This book talks about the Shroud of Turin. That was the first time that I, in my apologetic studies, that I heard about such a cloth being kept from back then up until now that had the same type of wounds that Jesus would have had, and it came from, when they dated it, it dates back to Jesus' day. So what you see on your screen right now is the AI image that the Midjourney program took of Jesus. It took the Shroud of Turin and they put it into AI and said, AI, Midjourney, come up with what, based off of this Shroud of Turin, come up with an image of what Jesus would look like. And I'm not looking at it for sake of, it just freaked me out. It was spooky looking at it, but you see it up on your screen, look like a white man. And to me, honestly, the pictures of the Shroud of Turin, I'll put the Shroud of Turin on one side and I'll put the AI image on the other side. The picture of the Shroud of Turin that I've seen resembles nothing like the AI image that it created, right? So that's the first thing, right? But then the second thing, it's just spooky to look at, right? And the reason why it was kind of spooky for me to look at and weird for me to look at is because it's like, I know that's not the real Jesus. We don't know what the real Jesus is. I was looking at a scripture today. It's in First Peter where Peter says, "Whom you have not seen, you love." Right, talking about Jesus, whom you have not seen, you love. Writing to the people of that time, all the way up until us now, saying how the person Jesus, whom you have not seen, you still love. So nobody has seen Jesus, right? So it's almost like, and then earlier, either before that scripture or after the scripture, it talks about how when you see him, you'll praise, honor, and give glory at the revelation of Jesus Christ, right? And that's what I want to do. That's what I think we all should be focused on, is being able to praise, honor, and glory at the revelation of Jesus Christ. When Jesus is revealed, that's when we will be able to see it, right? So it seems kind of weird and spooky and just like not right to even play with, like, okay, let's take the Shroud of Turin and see what the image of Jesus would look like based off of the shroud. Because then what it leaves for people who don't have wisdom and who don't have discernment, they can make an idol out of the image. Like they did with the first paintings of Jesus, the white Jesus that gets floated around now. They can make an idol out of it. People can start printing it out and put it in their homes and start worshiping it, right? When Jesus has told us to worship the Father in spirit and in truth, right? We haven't seen, God is invisible to us right now. Jesus is invisible to us right now. So it would not be wise for us to make an idol out of this fake image and then say, oh, well, based off of the AI said, based off of Shroud of Turin, that this is Jesus, so this is what Jesus will look like. Nah, let's not focus on this AI image. Let's continue to focus on worshiping Jesus in spirit. Let's continue to worship the invisible God, and let's keep on going that way, right? But the Bible gives us clues into what Jesus would look like, right? So you think about the fact that he was born in Bethlehem. He was grew up in Nazareth, right? He's a Jew, right? He grew up in that part of the world. You think about what people who are born and live in that part of the world look like, right? And especially you think about that back in that time as well, too, right? So that gives you clues, right? But then also in Isaiah 53 verse 2, it talks about how Jesus didn't have a stately form. He did not look like a king. He did not look like a prince. He did not look like somebody that was going to overthrow the Romans, right? The Bible talks about how he did not have any form or comeliness, and he did not have any beauty that we should desire him, any appearance that we should desire him, right? Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that Jesus didn't look good. We don't know, right? But it does lead you to speculate based off of the scripture that based off of Jesus's appearance alone, Jesus did not look like a king. So those are the clues that we have, right? Some of the clues that we have of what Jesus' appearance looks like, right? But we should not obsess over that appearance. There's a reason why none of the gospel writers wrote about what Jesus looked like. There's a reason why, and I was thinking about this today in preparation for making this video. There's a reason why there were eyewitnesses of the resurrection. There were eyewitnesses of the apostles, yet we don't have any stories passed down through time of somebody writing down what Jesus looked like, or at least I haven't found it yet. I haven't seen any sources of somebody from back in Jesus' time writing something about what Jesus looked like, right? I don't see anything. I haven't seen any sources. I looked it up, haven't seen anything like that. If you've seen it, let me know, drop it in the comments. I'll check it out. But we haven't seen it, right? So like God has kept that secret, that thing a mystery up until the time so that we can all be able to praise, honor, and glory at the revelation of Jesus Christ. So please stay away from this image and all other created images like it. Don't fall for the hype. You can go over there and go look at it and check out the article, but don't fall for the hype. This ain't that ain't the real Jesus. Don't obsess over this image. It's not the real Jesus. Focus on worshiping God in spirit and in truth, and you'll be just fine. While I believe the Shroud of Turin is a real artifact, like reading the evidence on this, like, man, a crucified man that has the markings that resemble Jesus is great evidence to shore up my faith that Jesus actually existed and Jesus actually is true. But at the same time, just because we have that evidence, I'm not trusting a man-made artificial intelligence machine or program to generate an image based off of that shroud, right? And like I said earlier, it don't even look like it based off of the picture of the Shroud of Turin that I seen, right? So let me know what your guys' thoughts are in the comment below, and stay tuned for the next video. Peace.